As you go throughout our great city, you will see many, many different types of buildings, from houses to the CN Tower to City Hall to apartment buildings, all different sorts. And no matter what's happening on the outside, all of these very different buildings have one thing in common. They have a very, very strong foundation. And the foundation of the orchestra, in the same way, no matter what's happening in the upper instruments, the foundation is the bass. And today, that is what you are going to be learning about. The double bass with TSO Bass, Paul Rogers, learning all about how to carry it, how to take it out of the case, how to play pizzicato, how to hold the two different types of bow. What are those two different types of bow? You're going to learn that in today's lesson. How to make a sound, how to have a good posture, how to hold your hands correctly, both the left and the right. All of these things so that you, dear double bassists, can become the foundation of the orchestra. You are the support around which everything else, everything else depends on you as a bass player. And that's the truth. So very, very important instrument, very important job that you have and that you're going to be learning about today. All throughout the lesson, at any point, you can stop because it's online. You can stop and pause and you can practice the things that Paul is going to be teaching you. You can try them out and then resume. So we encourage you to do that. Stop and pause as much as you need to and practice slowly the things that Paul is going to be explaining to you all about the wonderful double bass. You're joining hundreds, maybe thousands of students from all over the GTA today learning about this great instrument. And at the end, if you have questions, and you may well have questions, we encourage you to contact us at schoolconcerts@tso.ca. schoolconcerts@tso.ca. My name is Daniel Bartholomew Poyser. I'm the Barrett Principal Education Conductor and Community Ambassador. We look forward to seeing you at our concerts. And now, let's get to work.
Hi, my name is Paul Rogers and I'm a member of your Toronto Symphony Orchestra. So happy you guys are here today for this introductory lesson on the double bass. Today I'd like to just cover basics as just carrying the bass, putting the cover on, taking it off, on how to stand with the bass, making sure you have correct posture with the instrument. Also, your left hand posture is a must. Your pizzicato, demonstrating on how to pitch the instrument. Actually, what bow type you decide to use, whether you use a French bow or German bow, will be discussed. What types of rosin you'll be using. Posture with the bow arm, and just simply drawing a sound out on the instrument. So that one day, you'll be able to play and enjoy the instrument in the orchestra. Let's get started. Firstly, I'd like to show you how to carry a bass into the room that's already been covered. Here's another bass I have in the house, already with its cover on. And to carry it, there's just basically two handles, one on the lower here, and one on the other side. lift it with your back. Pretty simple, and off you go. Once you've arrived, it's time to take the cover off. I like to do it standing. The next part I'd like to show you is how to stand with the instrument and the height of the end pin. I like to adjust the end pin so it's at a height where your eyebrow is almost the same height as the top of the nut on the instrument. This corner of the instrument lies just on the inside of your hip bone. You stand on 2 feet squarely. Put all your weight on your right foot. Bring the instrument in. And it touches your left knee, the inside of your hip bone, and you balance it. If anything, it should fall forward, not backwards. Next, I'd like to talk about your left hand. The left hand on the instrument should look like a C-clamp that people use in woodworking. Much like that. If you grab a can of Coke, much the same thing, and then you spread your first and second finger, bring it up onto the instrument. The fingers have to be curved in order to give yourself strength. There's always that space between the first and second finger. I like to put the thumb in the middle of the neck, so when you're sliding up and down, it's not following, it's not wrapped around, it's not off to the side, it's right in the middle. Gives you your strength. You can pull on the bass this way a little bit. You can see how my fingers naturally curve. This is not the way, this is the way. Now we've balanced the bass, we have our left hand. I'd like to show you how to pluck the instrument. At this point, go put your thumb behind the fingerboard. And you can use your first finger or your second finger or both. Let's say use my second finger and just pluck. D string, G string. Finally, the low E string. Some people might want to use the side of the finger here. At this point, now we have to start talking about the bow. Which bow are you going to use? I use the French bow, so I'll start with the French bow. Kind of a unique bow. With the French bow hold, it's very similar to holding it like a pencil. You hold the pencil with your first and fourth finger, bring your thumb in naturally, and place second and third finger right over top. The arm is straight here. First and fourth hold the pencil, second and third go over, thumb is underneath. Do the same thing with the bass bow. Hand goes over top with 1 and 4 holding it. Thumb goes into the little notch inside between the frog and the stick. 2nd and 3rd just relax over top. Now I'll show you the German bow. The frog is longer than the French. The tip of the bow may be a bit smaller. Length might be a little longer. The hair might be a little thinner. And the bow hold for this one, thumb over top, 2nd finger holds it up, 1st finger over top, 4th finger on the ferrule, holding it. Next, I'd like to talk about the types of rosin that we have to use. Rosin is an important part of producing sound. With the bass bow, especially the French bow, there's a lot of hair. And if you loosen the bow, don't suggest this, but you take it right out, you notice there's a lot of hair. Screw back in, tighten it up. Now, if you don't use rosin on the hair, there's nothing to make a sound. Pretty much sounds pretty fluffy. You'll notice it if you don't use bass rosin. Violin rosin or cello rosin will not work for you. It'll sound like this. But with various types of rosin, we have Samuel Colstein rosin here. It's a very dark. Gotta move the base closer. A very dark rosin. And when you're rosining the bow, you put a little bit on the frog, a little bit at the tip, and then once or twice through. You find as you play, the rosin that you had put in here and the rosin you had put in there as you play will pull through the remaining of the hair both ways to fill out the sound as you're playing. So you heard it without rosin, now you hear it with rosin. And there are various types. Swedish rosin, made by Carlson, a very favorite with the orchestra players. Pops is another rosin. We have our posture. Right foot parallel to the side of the bass. Don't have yourself turned into the instrument, but turn yourself so that you, the bass and yourself are facing the conductor as you're playing. Your bow on the string. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. You want it in a nice area that makes a nice gentle sound. You turn the bow somewhat toward you, not flat and not over. Not this way, not quite flat, but slightly on the side. Put it on the string. Now, you don't want it crooked and you don't want the tip up. As you pull, you want the sound to be produced on the same point of the string. Now, once you start introducing the left hand to the right hand, we just do something simple. Just open G string, first finger in first position A, B with the fourth finger, back to first finger, and open G. Another open G, open D, first finger, fourth finger. Simple exercise of building up strength in your left hand. And you'll notice I try to be on the same point of the string with a straight bow. One way to look at it is as if you just take your bow and put it on the bridge, rotate it on the top of the bridge like that, you just have the same feel over the strings. I'd like you to enjoy the bass down the road. It's a powerful instrument, especially when you get toys like this down here and you have the low C. I'd like to thank you for watching today's intro. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and come and watch us play in the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Thank you.